All right, this is the Napier Ford Maverick specific truck bed tent. If you notice, I actually don't have a Ford Maverick. I have a Hyundai Santa Cruz. Don't want to show you my license plate, but here is the truck. So I've been looking for a truck bed tent for a good bit, and there are very, very few that fit the Hyundai Santa Cruz. The Napier one built for the Ford Maverick is pretty rare to find, but it is certified to fit the Santa Cruz, so we're gonna give it a shot. I got this from Facebook Marketplace about a week ago. It actually fit in my airplane suitcase carry-on, so that was nice. I didn't have to check it. I got it for $60. It's been used, but it retails for like $280. So if this works, that'll be a good deal. I'm gonna try to set it up, and I have no idea how to do that right now, so gonna pause this and see what I can figure out. Okay, so I rolled my bed cover up, and I put the tailgate down, and it all comes in this little bag right here. It's pretty difficult to fit the tent in because everything comes in here once you have taken it out and everything and are putting it back together. Obviously this Ziploc bag did not come with it, but these are the straps. And then in here is the tent with some of these ties and then the poles. And then there are instructions here that aren't super detailed. So it's gonna be a fun challenge, but we'll get the tent unwrapped first and see what we can do with the poles and the straps. We've actually made a bit of progress. So I unfolded the tent, I put the poles to the side, and trying to figure this out, but going off of the instruction, I set up, you can see this is kind of the white part, and the label is here, and it's on the other side as well. So I kind of have it flattened out. I think it's supposed to be set up this way. I also looked for where the zipper was located, and then here you have kind of the entrance of the tent. So I think I have it aligned right. There's no floor to the tent, which kind of surprised me, but I don't really know what I was expecting. It kind of makes sense that there's not a floor. But I think we're gonna try to snug it around kind of where the top of that shark fin looking part of the car is. But yeah, this is kind of the general layout, which confused me at first, but I think that's right. So the next thing I did, per my very detailed instructions, I put this down past the tailgate, and then it wants it even further down. Like, it wants it tucked kind of under the tire. I don't know if it's different on the Maverick, but if you look, there's a exhaust pipe right there. So I'm obviously not gonna cover that. I don't think I can really bring it down much further. Maybe it works better on the Maverick and it'll be okay, but next we're gonna try to get this up above. So to do that, you need the two straps, which I already hooked the one in, but it comes, the tent part already has this buckle here. So I'm just gonna take the strap, I'm gonna clip it in, and then bring that, and I'll grab the other one too, all the way around. And the idea is to hook it onto the hood. I popped my hood by just flicking that up. So that popped the hood, and then we're gonna see if we can hook it onto the hood and bring it all the way up. All right, so I popped my hood, showing you that button inside the car on the driver's side. Look, I don't know much about cars, but I couldn't get it to stay up. And then I realized this thing, I guess is called a hood strut. It was down, like it just bent right down into this place. So I just unlocked it and I put it in this little slot here, and that's holding the hood up. So side piece of information that you probably already know, but I didn't. Let me see if I can hook this now. Okay, so now it looks like we're actually getting somewhere. I brought both straps around over the little shark fin and hooked them here. Now I'm definitely confused about the hook part. I don't know if that's a good idea. I'm looking at the instructions here. I know it's for the Maverick or whatever, but it looks like it wants them hooked on whatever is holding the hood up, which to me is one of these two. There's nothing as thin as what the illustration shows. And they're supposed to be facing like that. So I'm gonna try to put this down, or I don't know, maybe I'm supposed to keep it up. I just don't want it to crush it or anything, or get stuck and prevent the hood from closing, but we'll see. My instructions kind of told me to skip the hood nonsense for now and move on to the poles. So I straightened all the poles out. That was pretty easy. I'm not going to show you how to do that. If I can figure it out, I think you can. The next part is trying to get the backside to make that U shape and straighten out. My problem is all the poles are different sizes, which you can see here and here. They're not labeled, so I don't know which one to use for the first part. This says 2B for this pole. I'm gonna make the assumption that it's the second pole of the three, which is the medium length one, which would be this one I have on the bottom. So I'm gonna try that one, see if it stands up. And to do that, I just fed the pole through this part. I put it through this strap first, and then it's kind of going inside. So it's gonna make an arch. All right, so this actually makes it look pretty good. There's a gust of wind blowing that's holding it up. But I fed that pole all the way through, and here's the other side. I couldn't find the second piece, but it's attached on the bottom there. So I just have to put those two together the same way that I showed you for the first piece. And this is the second longest pole, which I'm referring to as pole B, which is, I think, their intention there. So I fed the pole through both ends to set up my main area. We actually have somewhat of a shelter now. So we're done with steps 1 through 9. If I'm reading this right, 10 is this second little pole. I couldn't find the slot, but it's right here. So I'm just feeding it through, and we'll see if that kind of makes it a little more structured. All right, I think we're really getting somewhere now. The secondary pole, the little one, it was really tough to fit in. The little pockets where you tuck the poles into are harder to find, and it's really tight. There's no slack here at all. You gotta shove the poles up in there. I think I'm almost done here. I kind of need to hurry because this is taking me a little bit, but okay, next step. So the next step seems to be just pulling on these straps. There, you can kind of see that, to eliminate any slack, which, oh, there we go. Obviously we don't want. You can see there's potentially a gap there, but it's covered quite well. This is just to, you don't want bugs or whatever, water, sideways rain coming in. And then we have, it looks like 3 clips to kind of secure it more. And this part's a little tricky for me. In the diagrams, it just kind of hooks on. You can see this gap. That looks pretty gross under there. The other side hooked a lot easier. There we go. Okay. So there's one hook. It's kind of, I'll show you how that looks. It actually works. It hooks there. I'll try to do these tires. I have no idea how you hook this onto the tire, but we'll see. This actually surprised me. It's kind of funny. You kind of have to put the hook around like that and then clip it on the backside. There's a groove like in the middle of, I guess, this panel and this. So you got to feel that and then hook the clip in there. It actually fits like perfectly. Okay, so the best I could do is hook it in between the sides here. It does fit kind of perfectly. There's not a ton of slack. I could probably get it down there if I really tried, but I think it looks decent. I zipped this up. We'll take a look inside, figuring out what to do with this pole. And it didn't really clarify in the instructions. I think I just have to put it through this top part to get that a little stood up. So we'll see. It's actually feeding pretty easily through that part. So I'm assuming this is the longest pole, which I'm assuming is the one intended for the back part. So it went biggest to, this one's almost the same size, but we'll call it the medium size pole. So the big one closest to the hood, then the medium one here, then the little guy holds up this entrance. So let's tuck this in to wherever it belongs, and I think we are almost done. I don't think I can do it with one hand, but I'm just showing you that part. Okay, we're just about done. I'm pretty happy with this, actually. It's fitting a lot more snug than I originally thought. There's 3 hooks on each side. There's a clip under the Santa Cruz that I showed for the largest one. Second one goes on the wheel, I think. I had no idea about the third one. My biggest concern was covering this exhaust pipe. Obviously, that's probably the biggest thing, is do not cover this whatsoever. I think it's intended to be all the way down here. It looks that way in the design, and it kind of flattens out perfectly down here, and it reveals a little bit more. Like, this buckle makes a lot more sense now. You can actually just hook it right onto that metal part. There it is. It was kind of difficult to find, but you almost have to get it in between these two, or it fits perfectly. Once you get it, you got it. There's a second clip on this side, obviously, but it's not the same. This is on more of a flimsy piece of plastic. I don't know if you can see it, how it kind of moves there. So I'm not as comfortable putting it here, but it's not super tight, so I think it'll be okay. I just wanted to show that quick. So then the final part, according to this lovely instruction manual, is the stakes. So there are 2 strings. I'm only going to do the one. This is just for extra support so your tent doesn't blow away. I fed the corner of the stake through this little knot here. And then you just, I don't know if I need to explain how nailing something into the ground with a stake works, but let's say I put it here, and then that's just going to hold it in place a little bit better. One thing I forgot about that I really am a little concerned about is the hood part. So the clips are in. I didn't show me shutting the hood, but I put whatever the piece that holds the hood up is. I said it earlier. I don't know I'm not a car guy, obviously, but I put that down and it does let me shut the hood. I think it's good. I think it's locked. I want to look up to make sure I know the exact part that I'm putting those clips. But that's kind of the key that holds it all together, is it goes all the way around and attaches to the tent. I don't have a warning light. I just hit 20,000 miles. I don't have a warning light for the hood. So I think we're okay. Let's take a look inside. All right, so we will unzip here. And it looks pretty good. I don't see noticeable gaps. It definitely should do the job. I don't know how it would hold up against rain, but it's a shelter. It's pretty cool. I wasn't expecting that I'd be able to set this up. It took me a long time, but I think it looks good. My biggest concerns, though, are I want to make sure I have this part tucked right. The exhaust pipe is not covered, which is obviously the number one thing to make sure of. My only other concern is about the hood here. I just want to make sure that this isn't crushing anything. But I think it looks good, and then it's pretty tight. I don't really love that this kind of dangles. I think it's pretty good. Yeah. All right, the final part here is just showing you what it looks like inside this luxurious home I've created. Biggest thing is try to prevent the gaps here as much as possible. I mean, that's definitely workable. You can hardly see that. I'm sure I could make it better, but you can see it kind of encloses you in the whole car here. It goes over top, around the sides, and then the other gap would be down here, but it's tucked around the bottom of the truck, so that's good. Then obviously you're going to want to put something that's actually comfortable to lay on. The roll-up cover kind of covers your head, but it's not really a big deal. You just kind of have to put it up. But yeah, if you could, I mean, you could fit probably a twin mattress in here if it's not too high, but you're probably better off with just a little mattress or foam pad and then a sleeping bag on top of that. I guess it probably could fit 2 people if you're small enough. But laying down, I mean, I'm about 6'3", and it just barely fits me. So I do think I could sleep in here. I mean, it's not a 5-star hotel or anything, but it's definitely doable. So I'm pretty happy with this so far. I mean, $60, I got it used. The retail's like $280. I don't know if I'd pay that for it, but I got to take it camping and see how it holds up. All right, so one final go around. I think it looks pretty good. I'm not too picky. I don't camp very often. I'm not much of a car guy, but I love this truck, and I think it would be great to take on a road trip, and now I have at least some kind of a shelter. So it looks kind of cool. It's definitely gonna catch some eyes. The neighbor out here actually was asking me about it, but here's the inside. Obviously, you'd want to renovate that a little bit, make it a little more homey. Took me probably an hour and 15 minutes to set up, but that was just for my first time, and I don't know much about tents or cars, like I said, but I'm sure I'll be able to set it up quicker in the future. It gets a pass from me. I think it's pretty good. Obviously, still have to take it camping, but I like it, and I'll give it a thumbs up for now. So thanks for watching, and hopefully you enjoy your Napier Ford Maverick / Hyundai Santa Cruz truck bed tent. I know my girlfriend is gonna hate this thing, so thanks for watching.